You're one more.
I don't know. That Yoda one's pretty tasty, I have to say.
It's an interesting pose of Yoda. Hello. Hello there.
So, hello. We'll wait till a couple of people come in.
Yeah, let's get on the facey book.
You're one more. I don't know. Yep.
Everybody's echoing. Let me not.
It always does that. The YouTube, every time we go live, it won't default to like mute.
That's weird.
Hello, Mr. Notman. Hello, Governor.
Okay. Is it weird that I want, like, just as a signing at Celebration, is I want Notman to sign like something from Mary Poppins?
The Titanic. He needs to sign something from the Titanic.
No, I think he needs to sign something from, Wimbledon or WandaVision or Rogue or
you know Solo. What he needs to sign? He needs to sign my Paul Bettany pop.
Oh, that's it right there. I knew it was going to get there. Paul Bettany in every form will be
absolutely as Geoffrey Chaucer from Knight's Tale.
How'd we lose somebody?
Yes,
I totally. I have a print that I realized I should have got brought with me to Celebration in Chicago, which was a picture of Bettany and Tudyk together in Knight's Tale, and I'm like, oh, that was the perfect time to get that signed. Hey, Mark, we miss you. Yes, it feels very weird.
Oh, there he is.
Feels very weird not to be here with you, Mark. Well,
we got a square that's almost begging for you to come and fill it, but he will be here shortly.
Yes. So, hey, Mike, how are you? New person in our group. Well, once again, I guess we'll start. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Thursday night virtual Cantina watch along. My name is Spencer. I'm one of your hosts for the evening. Our producer for the night is Dave. Dave, how are you, sir?
Hello there.
Very nice, very nice. And we got Senor Jefe. How are you, sir?
Good.
So we'd like to welcome you for a new series on the virtual Cantina watch along. And what's it called, guys?
Finding
Kenobi. Yeah, so we're very excited. We're starting our march towards Obi-Wan Kenobi, which starts in less than 4 weeks from today. We're gonna get 2 episodes while we're in Anaheim. So it's some great stuff, but we're very excited tonight. We are going to be studying the arc of Obi-Wan Kenobi pre-Battle of Yavin. So we're very, very excited about that. We're going to be watching episode 1, The Phantom Menace. So we're going to see Obi-Wan in his Padawan days before he becomes a full master, which he becomes, spoiler alert, at the end of this movie. I know. Tear. You had me at hello. Yep. But yeah, so very, very excited about that. A couple of things I want to plug right now. First and foremost, don't forget the Bunta Eve Cantina, which we announced last week. First and foremost, a new judge for Alderaan Ido and our good friend and family member, Misty Rosas. So we're very excited about having Misty come in, a judge. Hopefully she's going to be performing for us as well. Bunta Bucks. Don't forget she's also playing Queel and the Frog Lady in Mandalorian, which is actually pretty cool. Hey, Bruce, how are you there, sir? And then we have, in her United States signing debut, the first female stormtrooper in Star Wars history, Miss Samantha Aileen, is going to be signing at the Bunta Eve Cantina. Now, Dave, as somebody who has daughters and daughters who are geeks like you are, what's it like to actually have the first female stormtrooper actually being involved with this?
I spent the entire rest of the night on eBay looking for action figures. That would be as soon as graphic is done. over here on eBay. I have at least 2 on the way to me right now.
Excellent. It's pretty big. I mean, Jeff, you've been literally around since day one celebration, day one Star Wars. I mean, it's a pretty big deal that, there's a female stormtrooper and that, if we get the nod in this scenario.
First U.S. signing is definitely a huge thing. Excuse me. And yeah, her stature, or of being that version of that character, and or the first version of that character that's been played by a female or whatever, is definitely something to be very proud of and celebrate, which we will.
Absolutely. Absolutely fantastic. So we're very excited about that. So please make sure you do that. The pricing sheet should come out, I would say probably sometime within the next couple of days, probably by the weekend. Some people did ask. I will let you guys know that nobody is below $30. I mean, above $30. So it's gonna be below 30 and below.
It's amazing.
But I just got a notice from Dominic that I can advertise this, that he is actually going to be doing an in-person special on his tiki mug for $60 at the Boonta Eve Cantina.
Oh, cool.
Right there. They're very snazzy. They're very nice. Autograph, and he'll do different things.
Yep. So
there's
very
a lovely
excited
unboxing on the Virtual Cantina Network if you want to see more.
Yes, it's a very nice unboxing of a nice Luke Skywalker figure too on the Virtual Cantina Network as well.
Too soon.
Might be an up and coming unboxing.
Too soon.
I had to do that. Yeah, there's a new shirt begrudgingly on the TeePublic store right now that Jeff is just showing the sticker for. On Saturday, the 28th of May, we are going to have our Virtual Cantina family portrait. Our recommendation and our request is that you can wear any one of our shirts, whether it be a Racer or a Boonta Eve shirt or TeePublic. Show your VC pride. There's a group invite on Facebook currently right now. If you have any questions, talk to Jeff, Joanna, or John, and they'll be able to assist you in that scenario.
But why can't they talk to you? Why can't they help you with that?
Because I'm going to be on Naboo.
Touche.
But also on Tuesday night, don't forget about the Not So Virtual Cantina, where we're going to be just hanging out at the Anaheim Hilton Bar for the evening and just having an easy night before the shenanigans.
Oh yeah.
The night afterwards. So it's all going to be a lot of great stuff right now. But Dave, why don't you tell us a little bit what's going on over at the VCN right now?
What's not going on the VCN? We've got stuff going all the time. Like you mentioned, there's unboxing videos like weekly, several here and there. We've got our shows going. We're taping new shows for you. There's constant talk of the new Funko show that will be episode 2 is going to be dropping very soon. We've got another episode of celebrating Obi-Wan, celebrating autographs coming in May, and constant stuff. We are asking you for, as part of also the Instagrams and the Twitters, we want to see some stuff from you guys over on the VCN. I want you guys, as you're trying out your celebration cosplays, you're trying out just your celebration outfit, as you're trying on your virtual cantina or your, Punch It Chewy Racer, send us some bumpers that we can include in our unboxings and any of our videos that go up. Just, give me a, hi, how you doing? My name's Boba Fett. I'm, here watching the Virtual Cantina Network, something. Give me a catchphrase, dress in cosplay, do a little dance, make a little noise. I don't know, something.
Get down tonight.
Get down tonight. There you go.
Yes. Ujaba. As they say in Force Awakens. So yeah, very, very exciting. some stuff on the Virtual Cantina Network. We got some great bumpers from Scooby and his daughters, and a very nice Grogu group, which Mark
yeah.
is the not only the president, but he's also a client. Um,
The day.
but yeah, so
Okay,
there's
I look forward to introducing her to Mark.
you're such an instigator.
That's gonna be so much fun.
Keep them separated.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so don't forget we are going to be watching Phantom Menace tonight, which will start in the next 13 minutes or so. But I'm going to be watching on the D Plus machine. I'm sure most of you will be as well because it's easy. Or if you want to watch on your Blu-ray or DVD, or even on the VHS, because there is a VHS version of that. I do have a copy of that somewhere.
Ooh, I don't think I ever had this on VHS. I mean, I'm holding on to my original non-special edition.
I remember scrambling, literally scrambling to get a copy on overstock.com once when the VHS dropped of episode 1 in the end of 99 or whenever they came out with it. And I think I got it for like a really good deal because it was on Overstock back when they were super cheap, like 99 cents or $8 at the most. I don't know. It was a big jump, but anyways, it was an interesting time
before the dark times, before the Empire.
Before I got it in 57 more formats since that.
Yeah. Who doesn't? I mean, can you consider yourself a real fan if you don't have almost every kind of version of whatever?
I think I may have this on Laserdisc.
That's
even make Laserdisc in '99. I have the original trilogy on Laserdisc.
Funny thing is, so when when the Disney stores started closing up and everything was on sale, they had Rise of Skywalker like 50% off, and I was like, you know something, I'm just gonna buy it and keep it in its wrapper, even though that I know that I have it on Disney Plus. I'm gonna keep it. So because I always tout to everybody is that, yeah, you might not like one of the movies and you might say you're not going to buy it, but I know you might buy a copy and keep it wrapped up because it's going to irk at you that when you're looking down the lineup, there's going to be the gaping hole right there.
Well, so that's how you're going to watch this in the zombie apocalypse, rocking your generator and firing up your Blu-ray. Stinking D+ in the zombie apocalypse. Come on.
No. Absolutely. But speaking of the zombie apocalypse, great final trailer for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness that comes out next week, where you get to see the Illuminati will see you now. They announce the Illuminati and you hear more of Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
So that's very, 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 very exciting. Do you think they'll ever release a special edition of the prequel trilogies? They might one day. Who knows what they might do? As long as they don't do another 3D version.
What
they tried 3D and they couldn't.
They tried 3D and I went to it. I'm like, okay, cool. Star Wars in 3D. I'm like, wow.
I didn't go because I wanted to wait for the original trilogy to come out. So I was going to wait past the first 3. And because of people like me who didn't go because they were waiting, they said, oh, we didn't get a good enough turnout. We're not going to show the other ones. We suck.
So anyway, we last night, without giving a lot of like detail about it, had an incredible meeting about planning some absolutely incredible things for the Boonta Eve Cantina. The interactive ambiance of this event is going to be absolutely insane. But we did announce, Jeff, the couple of things that we did talk about. Talk about the photo ops sessions that we're going to have available at Boonta.
Photo op sessions,
like locations, like where the. I might as well say it's a step and repeat. We have the backdrop with a red carpet, like you're coming to a real premiere, and also our geocentric.
You are coming to a real premiere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the geofence around Biggs where you can get the Snapchat filter and add that to your photos for fun times, and all your Bunta Eve Cantina tag or hashtags on your posts,
Yeah. So
your TikToks.
in your TikToks, yes, absolutely. Which after Scooby started doing these reels and stuff, which some of them are absolutely fantastic, I'm kind of like, someone's going to have to go that realm eventually, as much as I hate it in every,
And it's
in every,
going to be you. You will be.
no, I will
TikTok
not.
master.
I will not be the TikTok master. Absolutely not. When I showed the,
Master of the talk.
yeah, when I showed my wife the Snapchat filter, she's like, "You didn't download Snapchat, did you?" I'm like, "Do I look like a 14-year-old girl?" She's like, "Okay, I just want to make sure." I was like, "No, I had Snapchat when it first came out, and within 2 days I took it down because I was like, this is
The best.
silly." But hey, we got Boot Eve filter, so it's something different. So we're very, very excited about that. We also announced some really good drink specials as well. So hope you guys are going to join us. We're going to have a lot of great fun, a lot of shenanigans. But let's talk a little bit about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, he was born on the planet of Stewjon, which literally George basically pulled out of his butt.
He does that a lot.
When he was being interviewed by Jon Stewart. He said, Jon Stewart asked him, "Where's Ben Kenobi from?" He's like, Stewjon. Literally.
George can't not have an answer.
And a lot of them involve somebody's name mixed up or backwards. So
yeah, so I mean, hey, who is this one of his most notable characters in the original trilogy? Yoda. He does things in riddles and reverse, but yeah, he was born in Stewjon in 57 BBY. For those playing at home, BBY stands for Before Battle of Yavin. He was obviously a force-sensitive child, and so he was inducted into the Jedi Order, raised in the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, and he raised to he was assigned to Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn in 32 BBY, and then he attained the rank of Jedi Knight by defeating Darth Maul during the invasion of Naboo, which we are actually going to watch a little bit of that right now. But speaking of that, Ewan McGregor, headliner for Celebration Anaheim 2022. How's everybody think about that?
I think it's a little early to call him the headliner yet.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
With Mark announcing that he's not coming, you got me more on I'm getting close to that. But
official picks actually did say he's the headliner.
Really?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he does have the big property coming out right now, and he's the star of it. And he's the more established actor of some of the people that can still be announced. A lot of them, although there's a handful that are, up there. So,
yeah, I would have just thought more like a co-headliner if we get Hayden.
You see, but my biggest worry is I think Hayden is great. Don't get me wrong, and I think it's fantastic. But the thing is that the last two celebrations, Hayden was the co-headliner. Between Orlando, it was his first celebration. He was the co-headliner with Mark, and then last year it was Hayden and Ian. Now, the question I would have is Hayden going to do more than one day? Because in Chicago, he only did one day.
Right. You know where he lives by chance?
Yeah, I have it on my Google Maps.
Yeah, you'd stalk him. I mean, like what?
What kind of question is that? I don't know.
What part of the country? I don't know. I'm just saying, like we can. A lot of people, will are based in like LA or based in New York or they live somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, like I said, I don't have a pin dropped, on my Google map.
You know where
this is where Hayden Christensen lives. I don't know, but maybe that'll be on the tour that Mr. Mountain takes you guys on.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt that too. But no, Celebration, is shaping up very nicely. You got a nice mix of a little bit of everything. I'm glad they're also including sequel trilogy and D plus performers as well, which is great. The one thing that I've seen a couple of our fans talk about is, what if there was a photo op with the hero Grogu? Would you pay for that? I know Mark wouldn't, but would do you guys pay for a photo op with the hero Grogu?
I think there would have to be more to it for me personally. I think if we had the hero Grogu and the puppeteer,
Okay.
And
I like the prop itself.
yeah, it's kind of not as cool. And then if it's a puppeted version, I mean a manned version of the puppet that has somebody operating it, as you come up to talk to or to take the photo, like he's holding it, maybe somebody's operating it with little thingies. I don't know, because if it's if it's going to interact with you, that would make the experience.
Yeah, I mean,
worth the
I
money.
I see that as he's not like, if it's just like sitting there, that's
Yeah.
not going to be the cue. But if he, somebody's there and he can just like,
At the sideshow booth at LA Comic Con, they had their statue of
Right.
the life-size Grogu, but that one's got such a weird kind of expression that it's not quite the same either.
Yeah, he's kind of like looking up at you, like.
Yeah, and he's like stunned, like.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at it right in front of me in my office. That was like a buy that I absolutely need to get when they announced that one. And speaking of sideshow, Ashley's in the crowd. Speaking of Ashley as well, Ashley and Mark Van Olen will have a new show starting in June called Rebels Revisited on the VCN. It's going to be a very incredible show. Very excited about that show. It's going to have a little bit of watch alongs, a little bit of discussion, listicles, guests, something that's, everything that we had tried to do the last year here on Virtual Cantina. They're trying to encompass all that into one show, as opposed to, I don't know. I'm excited about how they're going to be doing that. It's going to be lots of fun for that. So we're going to start. Hey, Mark, speaking of Grogu,
Speak of the devil, and
the devil shall appear. So yes, we're about to start episode 1, the Phantom Menace. So please make sure that you have that all queued up on the D Plus machine or any version that you are going to do. By the way, I do have to plug the fact that we've been averaging about between 14 to like 19 viewers on this show, which has been more than we've had in a while. So thank you very much for the new members who have been joining us, and we'd love to continue having more and more members join us. So if you have ideas, please, let us know, or drop a message to Dave either on the Facebook, or what's the VCN's email, Dave?
So you can email us at the Virtual Cantina Network on at gmail.com. It's the. Did I put the? I'd get that wrong every time.
So Mark has 2 words for me. Thank you. Got it. Thank you. Thank
that
you.
was all polite of him.
Baby
Thank
Yoda.
you.
I love
Thank
how
you.
he's that polite.
It's like Elf. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, so yeah, we're about to start there. So why don't we?
Sorry, no the. Yeah, I do that every time because it's the Virtual Cantina Network is the YouTube address, but it's just Virtual Cantina Network at gmail.com.
Cute. Well, merci beaucoup. So yeah, we're gonna start this up. So does everybody have their copy of the Phantom Menace all queued up?
I
just downloaded mine off of LimeWire. I mean.
Napster.
And got 47 viruses while you were doing it.
From the torrent, yes. All right. That's not very nice. Mark just sent me a very nasty text message. Okay.
I
Did he send you the same video that you've been sending us when and you
Yeah,
No, it's
you're
more like a
cool.
DX. It was more like a DX reference. So leave it at that. So okay, we're gonna start the 10-second countdown. We're gonna start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Turn
So,
them captions
so,
on.
so it was Notman who threw me under the bus and said, Spencer wants to know if you would pay for a photo op with Grogu.
Whoa.
But I
Hello.
think you have a better chance of marking a photo op with Grogu than you have with Paul Bettany.
Mhm.
Alan wants to get a shot with Paul Bettany while he's kicking him in the gonads.
Yes. So, to quote the end of the movie Fanboys, guys, what if this movie sucks?
I don't think so.
Hey Pierce, how are you? So I remember when I saw this movie, I remember seeing it at the midnight showing in downtown Boston. And it was such a religious experience, especially to seeing all the people cosplay. And then when the theme went up, the people who had their lightsabers actually, raised their lightsabers in the air. I thought it was like one of the coolest things I ever saw, to the point where there has not been an opening night Star Wars that I have not gone to the first showing. I mean, I might not do the midnight show anymore because I'm 45 years old, but
Earlier
I
one,
might
yeah,
I might go to 7 o'clock on a Thursday. But what about you, Jeff? When did you first see Phantom Menace?
So I wanted to see it at a big kind of iconic theater, but man, Chinese. Well, the Chinese theater in Hollywood was going to be less of an option, partially because of distance, and secondly because of all the people doing the charity thing for lining up. .net or whatever it is, and they also were doing it at the other theater I wanted to see it at, but I knew there was less of a group there, and so I haven't seen this movie in a while. So I ended up going for the theater that was closer, which was Westwood Village, and it was the Fox Village Westwood, which is another theater that there's a lot of premieres and stuff at. And it's an old school theater. We ended up not being able to get tickets for the midnight show because of all the lining up people getting the tickets first, and getting tickets for the second show, which was 3 a.m. On a Thursday night. I had to go to work 7:30 the next morning. So yeah, ended up getting to the theater at midnight because this was not reserved seating back in the day, and stood in line for 3 hours and saw some interesting things, all kinds of stuff going on. Westwood's right next to UCLA, so it was all kinds of college related activity, as well as like shenanigan type stuff, as well as just regular geek stuff happening. It was interesting. It was a lot of fun. I didn't get any real sleep after that, but got to go to work all tired, and saw it, I think, again the night, that evening, like after work.
Very
Definitely
cool.
the following day. I think I saw it 3 or 4 times that weekend.
How are you, Dave?
So I don't remember actually the first time I saw this, and which one was the first time I saw this, because I saw this multiple times in theaters.
Mhm.
And I had spent, I think my main memory of this movie was, the internet was relatively young, and when the trailer for this dropped, that was the stay up all night and watch it load and make sure that it didn't crash while you were downloading the trailer. I mean, that's my biggest memory of this one.
I thought you were going to say stay up all night and watch it, and I was going to correct you and say you mean watch it load.
No, that was exactly what it was. Is we sat there, because you'd sit there and you'd load, and you couldn't take a chance on like your
download
screensaver coming on and
All
popping
right,
it and
that would
filling it
screw
off
stuff
or
up so
something.
bad. I
So
hated
you're sitting
screensavers.
there and like, clicking your mouse or whatever,
Yeah,
and
moving
then
it every few
to get it
seconds.
and watch it this big was
Postage stamp size on your screen.
but it was amazing.
Yeah, that wasn't back. It was back when you had to physically download the video all the way. So I have a bunch of trailers from back in the day floating around on various hard drives because of that. But this is a great reveal of your buddy
well,
Sheev.
well, Ashley just ruined the show for us. She found Kenobi. So thank you
Damn
very
her.
much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming on the virtual cantina tonight. From Dave, from
Good
Jeff,
night, everybody.
Spencer.
Directed by
Good
George
night.
Lucas.
Yeah, directed by George Lucas. Dun, 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 dun.
No, but here's the funny thing about this movie in particular is in the next couple of scenes that are coming up, you're going to see two Jedi traits that you only see in this movie. They only do this in this movie. They don't do it in any other movie, and that really, really bothered me. What do you think they are?
Oh, the speed.
That's one of them. That bothered me that they didn't do that again.
Force push has been used.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon with the lightsaber trying to burn through.
I was just going to say that. Was it going to be the door thing?
The door.
Right here coming up. See, the door thing I kind of like, but it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
This whole thing with these, because then you that is emulated on Rise of the Resistance. Spoiler alert if you haven't been on that ride, is
right.
Amazing.
Well,
and you get a little bit of something like that, but from like what the inside view might be.
Right.
That's such a cool.
That's like Moff Gideon cutting his way out with the dark saber.
Right. Well, that's true. He did that. It has been done again because he kind of did the same thing. But what I really want is for Batu to have Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars Land, whatever you want to call it, to have a photo op where you can put your lightsaber up against the wall or stick it in a hole and take a shot like you're cutting through. Have it glow. Anyways, Droidicas!
I was waiting for that. I've been waiting for that all night. Thank you.
I love Droidicas.
Okay, Pierce wins the thing. I won tickets to one of the mini sponsored early showings. Won by writing and reciting in a Yoda voice a dirty Star Wars themed poem.
Well, like on the radio?
Huh.
You might have to copy and paste that into a private message.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, you don't mention something like that without backing that up. I'm sorry, we're gonna call you out on that stuff. We do that all the time. It doesn't. We need proof. But also, what I love about watching this now is that we watched last week the finale of Book of Boba Fett, and we saw the Super Droidicas in the finale.
Oh yeah.
So seeing the
they're
OGs
called something
right now.
Else. They have a different name.
But we know what they are. We're not
evolution,
stupid.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, it's like calling a holocron a wayfinder. We're not stupid. Sorry, Dickie.
But anyways, so we got Queen Amidala in one of her 900 outfits in this movie.
Oh, we did we start? Are we starting? We're supposed to count those. Do we?
Were we?
One.
Well, let's say one.
One.
So here's the thing. So the secrets of the saga costume thing that they have at museums every so often, the traveling show, is absolutely fantastic. You have an opportunity. However, I will say a third of it is Padme's costumes. Literally a third of it. They have an entire wing of this entire incredible thing. It's just her costumes.
And that's costumes that span the saga at least the first 6 movies, right?
Correct. But a third of the
whole setup, it should be 1/6 at the most. Even then,
but the third is all Padme.
Like everybody else wears the same outfit the entire time. I mean, really, almost for the entire saga. I mean, Anakin gets all uppity and changes to like the black and
he
It's on a
his
helmet
colors
eventually,
get
and
muted.
it lights up on his chest.
Eventually.
He's got the light. He's got the light bright,
he's playing
Exactly.
video games.
yes.
Yeah.
But
This is the drama. Here's the drama.
Mhm.
I love women. She looks way younger in this movie than she
was
did when I saw this
19 when
movie
she did this?
originally.
Yeah, she was 19 when she did this initially.
Yeah.
okay, no,
I'm
Jeff,
playing
you're just
14.
way older than when you first saw this movie. That's
Well, that's very, very, very true. Yeah, and anyways, I was closer to her age than I am for sure now.
What a perfect location that they saw. Like you see from there, the ship is like landing. And I was looking at the trees. I was like, wow, that's a perfect clearing. Like there was
They
no
had the
trees. It was
exact
open.
amount of space.
like
Exactly. I was like, well, it's like they planned it. Did they have an excavating crew go down, before they
They'd have
went
to have
and
some
mow
sort of
the
prep,
lawn?
right? And now they're doing taking the trees out, which is weird. But
well, yeah, well you got to take the trees out because what's coming?
clink.
Your boy. Gungan style.
Oh.
Why was there never a video of that? Like that screamed a Jar Jar like parody.
And now every bit of free time that I have is get wasted.
Okay, what amount of free time do you have that I don't know about when we have an event in 4 weeks?
Ugh.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Look at
I
that.
mean, already both of our wives talk to us about the amount of time we're doing stuff. So
Yes.
Look at that.
Naman says you're our official Gungan. Dave.
Misa the Gungan?
And Wookiee.
Okie day.
First fully digital character in a movie.
But he was but wasn't the mod cap? Didn't he? He was actually on set and he was there. They just basically edited his face out.
Well, so there are different definitions. I think at that point they called it a fully digital character, but we didn't know how fully digital characters were going to go at that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
at that point, we're like,
Technically, it
oh, it's like a dude in a green suit with some balls on his face or whatever. Don't.
It's a different movie. Sorry.
Don't.
Totally different.
Michael, sit down.
Those websites are restricted. Thank you.
But at that point, we didn't know the kind of thing where we would have complete full CGI and nobody's there and nothing.
Right.
Right.
But if you look at it right now, if you look at what, for example, what Tudyk did and what Brolin did for Thanos, this was groundbreaking because it's basically the same exact thing, if you think about it. Now, here's a question. When they announced that Ewan McGregor, at this time, he was only known for Train Spotting.
Right.
What did you guys think of the fact that the kid who played the coked out heroin addict from Train Spotting was going to play a young version of Alec Guinness?
Yeah, it was like, I like that he wasn't too well known, but what he was known for kind of didn't necessarily fit in my mind. But you know, it was. I was more worried about having too much star power when these movies came out. So Natalie, even though she's very young, is fairly well known
because that was
after
the
professional.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and Liam, you know, he's been known for a lot of stuff prior to this,
right?
And then a handful of other people, but mostly them two. But then, you know, when you kind of think about it, you step back, there's a lot of star power, but depending on what you know in relation in the original trilogy. So like Alec Guinness is an amazing, you know, star of cinema and stage and other things. So but he just wasn't necessarily known at that time by that audience, especially me at that time as an 8-year-old seeing episode 4, a movie called Star Wars, in 1977. So
Yeah, no, I mean, also one of my favorite stories from the shooting of Star Wars actually came from the IMC3PO book. If you have a chance, get a copy of it. They're selling it actually. If you go onto the Celebration website and you're looking at the autographs for Anthony, they're actually selling on his lineup the audiobook and the hard copy book.
And they've announced that panel, right? An IMC3PO panel?
I believe so, yeah. But which he's absolutely fantastic, you know. But the thing is that if you read the book, he talks about, because the highest paid person on set was actually Sir Alec Guinness. So he was actually handing Anthony some of his per diem because he's like, I don't need this money. Go treat yourself to dinner. And he was like handing out money left and right, you know.
Well, because didn't Guinness have like a back end deal on that like a percentage?
Yes, because the thing is, he didn't want to do it initially because he was kind of like, you know, I'm a knighted actor. You know, I'm a knighted actor. You know, why would I go ahead and do that? You know, and he went on to be one of 3 knighted Star Wars actors besides David Prowse and Christopher Lee.
Very cool. Now, so we've mentioned how like Jar Jar was like, you know, the first fully digital character, or like how digital and how were all the other Gungans really done? You know, is Boston Ass fully good, or is that some practical or some CG?
Brian Blessed was probably on set, and most maybe in something like that in terms of how he looked, but that's totally digital right there.
Yeah,
right.
But I don't know, this slobbering thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is great because you got to see the you know, the mind trick at its best here. I mean, we all knew it from
fully used,
you know, with Anthony Forrest in A New Hope, but you get to see it really done here, which leads me to the question as well, which we'll watch, you know, in 2 weeks, was Jar Jar susceptible when Palpatine was looking for somebody to make the ratification?
Oh, because maybe it's not like what spoiler alert Watto alludes to a little bit, that, you know, all his species isn't susceptible. Maybe, you know, Boss Nass might not work on because he's, you know, got a stronger mind, but Jar Jar, I don't think we have a really good precedence that he would be the strong and powerful mind.
Well, let's think about this. So the camera at the end of this movie, spoiler alert, when they're talking about who's the master and who's the apprentice,
that
pan directly to Palps, right there alone.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when they we'll see it obviously in 2 weeks, but when he says who would basically, it doesn't say in these words, but who would have the cojones to do such a, you know, thing, and it pans literally directly. Exactly. But it pans right to Jar Jar.
Oh yeah, that's
Bruce thinks, I think Jar Jar was just easily manipulated with no force needed.
Highly suggestible.
Yes, but
that beginning of that underwater scene is pretty intense with those kaiju and things going around, and it's that what I remember about this that scene was that weird creature that ate whatever it was, the other creature just now, was very, very reminiscent of the new version of Godzilla that came out around that time, and how weird that was. Like it was just, they did weird things with Godzilla back in the day, folks. If you don't remember, he's back to being closer to normal now.
Which version of that was the Godzilla there?
What was that
It
scene
was-
from Austin Powers with Godzilla? Well, we can't talk about it because of international copyright law. But we're gonna run like it's Godzilla, but it isn't.
It was like the Godzilla where he went to like San Diego or something. So that was
Santiago?
Jurassic Park.
That was
I can't
Jurassic
remember.
Park. Are you talking about the Matthew Broderick one in New York, where he goes?
Maybe
to
that's it.
Madison Square
Yeah, I think
Garden?
it was.
Where he
in
sort of
sort of-
stepped through the MetLife building
Yes.
by Grand Central Station.
Anyways, I just remember it being a weird rendering of Godzilla. This is a great eel
Yep.
thing that's chasing him.
Yeah.
Some of these character designs are amazing. Creature designs.
You know, it's funny because when you see like you see the Emperor in the first scene, in the holographic imagery of it, and then you see Palpatine a little bit, and he's got the same chin. It's like, tell me you're the Emperor without telling me you're the Emperor.
It's this much of his face, and it's totally obvious. What's funny is that this movie has this whole thing going on with the queen and her handmaidens.
Oh yeah.
And some of the handmaidens acting as decoys.
Yep.
And if you know what Natalie Portman looks like, you shouldn't have too much trouble following. But I had multiple people that knew I was into Star Wars more than them after this movie came out, asking me about trying to clarify what was going on with the queen and the handmaidens, and not realizing that like Padme was Queen Amidala and things that are really, I mean, they were, to me, when I saw the movie, even though I did have a little bit of knowledge in advance, but for the most part, it was so obvious.
Because
But
the
they also-
handmaiden is what's her face from Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Yeah, it's Keira
Yeah.
Knightley and also
So-
Sophia Coppola as well.
Sabe or whatever, and what's the other one? So Sophia Coppola, before she started directing movies and becoming a amazing, a talent in her own right, and Keira Knightley, who also became something pretty good as well. There she is right there, speaking of Keira. And it's so obvious. It's like, that is not the same actress. If you do not realize, there's the actress that was just in that white face or
Okay,
whatever.
two with a second costume.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, we got to be beyond 2.
3. Well, at least 3 right now, because you got the Handmaiden, you
The
got
chat should have been paying attention.
But
that's
does
all
the
I-
hand? Okay, Sherry
Okay,
says
so
it's not
Sherry's
the
saying
because
two.
the handmaiden
Okay.
doesn't count. That's not
Right,
her.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
and Nauman's like, and they end up in northern Italy.
and they did. And they did.
Hey, look, there's Spencer and his
says
brother and his.
There's not
sister-in-law.
transporter.
Hey, there's Sterling. Yeah.
What are those Jedi's doing to that wedding party?
No.
I hope I'm not the first fan to show up in a Jedi robe. I really hope I'm not. Though
Are
it'd
you
be kind of
trying
cool
to
if I
sneak a
am.
lightsaber through customs?
It's been
Are you
20
gonna get
years.
frisked?
No, but I am bringing a blue kyber crystal with me
There you go.
just to bury it in the name of our Lord and Savior Anakin Skywalker.
Not in the sand. Not in the sand.
Why has it got it? Oh, it's Snake.
Yes, Rose Byrne is in Attack of the Clones. Hey, Molly,
yeah,
how are you?
There's a lot of people that were kind of on their way up.
Well, and didn't just recently they put out or re-put out a story that Bryce Dallas Howard was on set.
Yes, because she was good
This
friends from
and-
camp. She was a friend from camp of Natalie, and they wanted her because she was so young. So Ron would come visit the set and bring Bryce with him. So Natalie would have somebody to hang out with because everybody's so much older than
There's
she was.
Kira, there's Natalie, there's Sophia. I'm not sure who the 2 others are, but that's a great shot with if you could get
Yep.
Kira and Sophia and Natalie on a photo autograph, that would be amazing.
Yep.
Mhm.
And I think it's like this is just absolutely like incredible. But Hugh, the captain,
yeah.
the fact that Mark, you're going to cry right now. I want to thank you for bringing him to Chicago because he had an incredible line and he was inducted into the 501st. I was online for Daniel Logan when the 501st went and inducted him.
That's it.
But yeah, he did very well.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, in Chicago. Timestamp right now, if you're just coming in, is we're at 24:34.
You're a little bit
24.
behind, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm 24:50 right now.
The official timestamp is 24:50. If you're on the Facebook and you're watching, it's there down in the.
Oh, I don't
corner.
see it.
It
Okay.
doesn't come up in the YouTube.
No, I'm watching the Facebook on my laptop. That's how I'm seeing the.
Okay.
I see it on the. I
read
see it
the
on
chat.
It's underneath the generated subtitles.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So it's sort of grayed out, but yeah. Anyways, if you turn that off, or you look at it differently, I'm looking at it on my phone, so because I'm cool like that.
So yeah, so
Also,
a lot
on
of people say,
Highlander, yes, the Highlander Star Wars crossovers.
yep,
Oh yeah.
and that's the first time you supposedly see R2
Oh, right here. Yeah.
when he's with the other mech droids.
How many outfits does R2 wear during this? So,
Well, 3PO wears more outfits than he does.
yeah, that's true.
Well, no.
there goes
Actually,
R2 right now.
In the saga, R2 wears
That was
2
bad.
because if you remember, in Episode 4, he gets blasted in the Death Star trench,
Boom.
and then he's fried, and then you see him in the
He takes a
medals
lot
ceremony.
of abuse.
All shiny.
He's lucky he didn't get blown off like these fools right here. But he's a scrappy little droid.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a weird, if you noticed, I didn't ever notice this before, but when they showed him pull out of his little stall and get ready to go up on the outside of the hull to do his job, you see him go in the elevator. There's a wider shot. You see him go in the elevator. He goes up, and then they cut, and it's a close-up shot, and then you see him in the elevator, and he goes up again. So I thought that was a little weird. I may have to rewatch that part.
Yeah, that's just not consistency in the editing.
A weird edit glitch. But anyways, something I'd never seen.
Does anybody hope that we see? Because I know we were supposed to see a Force Ghost Qui-Gon in Sith. Do we see a Force Ghost in Kenobi?
I would like Liam to appear in any kind of way in a newer Star Wars property.
I hope to goodness we do, just from listening to the Kenobi audiobook, like of his first days on Tatooine. That's like all he's hoping for, and trying to commune and doing that sort of thing.
Right.
So I would hope we get to see some of that success.
Right.
Or, if we don't get an actual projection of Liam, some sort of
right.
alluding to that he is being able to communicate.
Or the voice.
Yeah.
So there's the first shot of
Maul.
Kenobi. Yep, Maul. Sorry.
Yeah.
Looking all crazy and monochromatic.
Oh yes, I have seen this repeatedly because I have been for the last several days watching every piece of dialogue that Maul has ever spoken.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All 15 lines.
No, no, because this goes through the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Like this is like an hour and 10 minutes of footage that I've been pouring back and forth through. So
wow.
So far, we've seen Kira in the Queen role more than we've seen Natalie almost at this point. And it's, I like how it's obvious to Qui-Gon.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always kind of the meme is that when she steps forward at the end and says, I am actually Queen, that like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan look like, oh, yep, you lost the bet.
$1.
Yeah, exactly.
The trading places.
Yep. You didn't ruin their lives.
Okay, so we're already talking about it and the memes and the which Star Wars movie is the most memes? Which one? Because this one's a good candidate.
I mean,
It's not clones because there's memes actually making fun of the fact that there's hardly any clones memes. I think it's Sith, isn't it? Or is it A New Hope?
I don't know. I mean, this has got a lot. You've got the Jar
they're
Jar.
all so
ability
right
to
for
speak doesn't,
the picking. Yeah.
you know, and okay, well, let's go beyond that. Okay, maybe it's not memes. Which one's the most quotable? Because this one again, it's got a
I would
lot.
say Empire.
Yeah, the original trilogy, because I've seen it so many times. But at
So
this
we're
point,
going.
I've seen this trilogy maybe an equal number of times. I don't know. No, probably not. Maybe at least half, though. Um, sequel trilogy, I've only seen mainly because of this show. A handful of times. I didn't do as big of a theater run for those movies as I had in previous times. At least for not all of them. Not for all of them. I remember this being so cool with having to have all that reflection and everything
Costume change.
in the vehicle. Yeah, it's
Oh
true.
yeah.
This is what, 3 or 4? 3.
4.
She was in the handmaiden outfit for a long
Yeah.
time.
I mean, I count the handmaiden outfit. Okay,
Yeah.
so look at those banthas compared to what we just saw with the bantha. Doesn't look like Snuffy over there.
Snuffleupagus. The
Again,
tarnished 3PO with a limp.
I really think that if Jeff and I were on the same coast, we would have to answer the challenge of we can do that better before celebration, and I think we could.
like a bantha.
I mean, not the like a bit, like actually making a bantha that was like better.
You know what's funny?
Less looking like Snuffleupagus.
A coworker, my previous supervisor, who's like a adjacent supervisor at my work, is part of the stagecraft for his daughter's like middle school or something, right? But his daughters are beyond that level. He still works with the school, but they do like weird productions and fairly large. Like they did, I think this was for Lion King. He had to build an elephant that could be ridden on and like pushed on the stage. And so that would be like, I'd used to be like, hey, where's your patterns? Give me that. And we just go build an elephant without the trunk and ears and put a bantha head on it, put some giant lips and a freaky tongue.
Yeah, and I bet they're cool things because I mean I've seen the Broadway production of Lion King, and like the very simplistic basic things that they do is they'll have like just a little cam on a wheel and makes the legs
makes things look like they're moving. Yeah, I saw the Lion King at the Pantages here in Hollywood, historic theater.
It's a fun show. It's absolutely a fun show, and
yeah, they come out in the crowd and walk down the aisles and stuff. It's pretty trippy.
Here it is.
Send me an angel.
Yeah, I was just gonna go into the.
Send me an angel right now. Right now. Okay, props to Scooby for that one. Yeah. Because I was like, when they played the music, I'm like, oh my God, I love this song. Oh my God,
he's perfect. Got some good visual / musical combinations that have worked really well. Punch his nose.
Well, and let's push that one too for all the viewers as well. Is all of us that are moderators and admins have been hit up for that. But viewers out there, if you want to send us like some reels, some short clips for the Instagram, like TikTok kind of deals, put some of your favorite clips from this movie, from the other movies, put them to music, throw them up in there in the engine, and we'll promote your stuff. We want to see it. That will be hilarious. And if you haven't seen, if you have no idea what we're talking about, go on over and check us out on Instagram and check out our reels, and you will quickly get some real good stuff.
Ah,
Frustrated Qui-Gon has to leave without pulling his Jedi mind trick on Slick Watto.
Yep. It's having
He's
the
gonna-
Jedi
he's gonna-
code. He just can't lightsaber him.
now he was also doing the half baked.
But it was just to Watto.
Yep.
He's like, F you and Anakin, you're cool, and then he bailed.
Yep.
He's like, come on, stupid, and the girl.
Because he's just 9 and she's 14.
So right here, I was just talking about how amazing the reflection and stuff was on this vessel.
Yep.
And now every time I look at it, I cannot it just makes me cringe. Because
Well,
if you noticed in that shot, when they walked up the ramp and they were outside, there's two characters right next to the like loading ramp or whatever, there was zero reflections of them in the actual vessel.
this was the big, like, what was it? I don't know. It's not the same one, obviously, but it was like Alienware. Do you remember Alienware for Photoshop plugins? The Chrome?
Oh, right. Or like Kai's power tools and all that.
Yes,
kind of
that kind of thing.
So was there a rumor that Phasma's gear was like fashioned out of one of the Naboo starfighters, like that silver ship?
Right, because that's why she was so chromy and
Yeah.
pretty. Look at Sebulba's ready to throw down. Or
There
Jar
you go.
Jar. What if they were farther up the street and didn't realize that was going down and couldn't intervene? Would we have like a squished Jar Jar?
Oh, Mark says now that we're 20 plus years out, they could just clean up the special effects in this with a special edition prequels.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea based on, some of it's still really good, but some of it's glaring. And a lot of the problem with this is how they work the eye lines with Jar Jars. In terms of that's what I'm seeing.
I would just be concerned is, they'd go too far and turn Jar Jar into a hipster or something. I don't know. It's like
he lives in Silver Lake. Yes, that would be not ideal. But anyways, I hope everybody's looking at the reflections now that I said something.
And give Obi-Wan, instead of his little ponytail, give him a man bun.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that.
No.
And props to Jeff that when we did our I know it's not the version of that, but the fact that we put up Jesus Kenobi up as our advertisement for happy hours. he messaged me, so what graphic we should do? I'm like, oh, we need Jesus Kenobi just because. And then the first thing I find on Google is a picture of a framed version.
Pranked his parents with that. That was a picture that the guy pranked his parents.
Like, oh my God. I was like, that has to be our advertisement for the show.
It ended up that version of the happy hour ad looked really cool.
It did.
With the photo framed and everything, like on the wall.
Yeah.
Great shot of Ewan.
Yep. Well, it had plenty of room for you to put the graphics, the lettering and all that.
And it's very timely and appropriate for what we're doing, what's coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, because after Finding Kenobi's over, we go into actual Kenobi.
Actual Kenobi, yeah.
Look at that. What's that freaky thing in the corner? Are they bringing out the Gimp?
He's still sleeping. Oh yeah, no, Mark, I was actually thinking about that. Re-record with Sam Witwer.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they put Tem into all the fets and throughout the entire saga. So why not do
updates,
that with Sam?
make it kind of sound a little bit more cohesive, make it a lot of more content.
I mean, hell, if they could take out Sebastian Shaw and put Hayden freaking Christensen, they could put in Sam Witwer's voice.
Oh
They
yeah,
could,
very
but they don't sound completely
Yeah,
incongruent.
both. He's like, yeah, both lines. He can do it from his phone.
He could. What? But I've got both voices are in our little Finding Kenobi video. Is
I was gonna mention one thing that I hear in that the combination that when he starts to say find, I get this weird, heavy, like Hispanic accent vibe, which makes it sound really weird to my ear. It's just funny. But you know, it may not sound exactly the same as I hear it to other people.
well, that's possible too. And I discovered today because I re-edited today. It just started out with a short clip. It just said Finding Kenobi, and he doesn't say finding anywhere.
Right.
So
Right.
finding is multiple clips,
So
but
finding, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, here comes the line from it.
Oh yeah.
We just miss it.
Yeah,
Gillette,
there was
the
it.
best
I
the
will find them
world.
quickly. This is exactly where that came from. Exactly where that came from right there. But yeah, is it can be done, and I think some of the thing behind it is I don't have the technology to remove the music behind them.
Yeah, that's what the
Any-
one thing that kind of throws it off is the little music mix in the background. I was thinking of trying to figure out ways to maybe be able to pull some of that out of there. But ideally, if we had this show occur after Celebration, we could probably run into Sam Witwer and get him to say Finding Kenobi for us
Kenobi.
in
Yes.
person.
So many people have asked him that before, and he says that the Kenobi actually trashes his throat.
Well, we don't have to
the way
go
he
as
has-
far.
But
You
he
can
say
just say
finding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Could
I
you
mean,
even
just
just
the
say the
word
word
finding,
finding?
and that makes it just
we already have the Kenobi, right? So whatever.
Right.
But you know, the timing is off a little bit. So
Right.
it is.
but I'm almost willing to bet at this point that I run into him at least once or twice during Celebration in 1 month.
Wow.
Can't believe it's a 1 month.
That is
It doesn't
close.
feel real.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel real after the last 2 years that we've had.
Yeah. That weird extended compressed 2 years.
Hey, Peter, how are you?
So laser sword is canon, even though does anybody ever call it a laser sword anywhere else?
Yeah, Luke calls it. What do you think? I'm going to go run down the entire First Order with a laser
Yeah.
sword?
Oh, that's right. Well, that was in reference back to here, right? So, because they did a lot
I think, was it just called a laser sword in the prototype stuff when they were talking about it and they were doing the Macquarie art and stuff like that? Was
probably. Oh, somebody was talking about if I forget her name that plays Shmi might show up or
August?
something.
Well, she's in
Yeah,
Australia, so if she can get here, the thing is, if Tem can come over from New Zealand, then Pernilla can come over from
Vanilla on his flight with him.
right.
Yeah.
yeah. I still want to see Ahmed. I want to see that announced.
You know, I would not be surprised. I would honestly. I was thinking. Someone asked me who I think is going to be in the last number of them, and honestly, Ahmed didn't even register to me until right now. Like I was thinking, Hayden was my number one, followed by Tem, Ming Na, and I had one other. I don't remember who the other one was, but in my top five would
Pedro.
absolutely. No, I honestly, I think who I absolutely think would be there. Pedro is actually not in my top five at all.
Oh, okay.
Do
Top
you
five
think
for who?
we'll get maybe Brendan?
Brendan Wayne.
Yes.
If you're gonna get Brendan Wayne, you're gonna get Latif as well. Oh,
Well, that's
Chris,
what I was talking.
yeah, but I also said that Chris Bartlett was my top five.
Yeah, he's got some great characters that he's played.
Chris was absolutely my top five. of people that I think will be at Celebration. And he's been talking several times that he's doing stuff. So,
Huh.
Well,
you know, on
Mark
social-
wants to know what our thoughts on why there were no reveals today.
because we think it's gonna come tomorrow.
Yeah.
It has
But
to be something
what
big.
is it? Something a multiple reveals? Why they keep moving around the times and days that they do this?
Because they
crap?
know there's jackasses like us who are hitting refresh since
Yeah.
from 10:30 on Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah. That whole thing was all about, is it coming yet? Has it dropped yet? Is it going to drop? Who's going to drop? Who's gonna
Like
drop?
I had a personal event and I was totally waiting that when I got out of it that my phone was going to be blowing up from text messages and
Right.
everything. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
you were.
cricket. I'm like, okay, I'm home now. I can do it. Like, okay.
I was like, oh, you left, huh? It was
Oh,
like there's nothing going on.
Sherry has something that's probably not an unreasonable thought, is maybe that the announcement for today was the bad Gmails. Is, save and spread some stuff out. Here's your announcement. As you get your bad Gmails today.
It was they pushed the panel release heavily on that Star Wars Today or whatever the frick that it was called.
Mark was just talking. This is a Star Wars. This is the Star Wars show for the reveals, and I agree with him.
Star Wars show was a great show. The new show is not. It's no Star Wars show, but it's it's watchable, and it's only what 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
I would love Bonnie and Joel to be there. I mean, obviously, I'm excited about seeing Bonnie when she comes to Rhode Island Comic Con this year, but I would love for them both to be there. But if I saw Joel, I'd probably obviously get him on some Star Wars stuff, but I would probably also try to get him on a piece from Gatsby. Because he was in Great Gatsby. He had the secondary male lead. The secondary male lead, because the lead was Leo and what's his face? Toby.
Well, that is
okay. Shmi's totally giving Qui-Gon that look like, hey, you got up early. I woke up and you were out of the bed. Like he totally hooked up with her. You can't tell me that Qui-Gon didn't get his lightsaber on.
Attachments are forbidden.
Yes.
I can have a little brother. Oh no, wait. No.
That's the plot to the next.
Anakin's little brother.
That's what we're gonna get next.
It's Chad Vader.
Chad Vader.
Manager.
Qui-Gon is his pappy.
He's like, Qui-Gon, you're not the father.
Is that Maury?
Here we go.
And Kitster, my boys.
Justice for Kitster, who from what I heard is that people try to get him for cons and he wants like top dollar.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate people that get like enlarged craniums.
Yeah, and there's Katie Lucas.
Oh, there she is with her space braces.
Yep.
I love space braces. So Anthony didn't do any puppeting or physicality for C-3PO in this movie, right?
Yeah, I don't think he did. Just a voice.
Just voice. Stick your tongue in the biscuit. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
My tongue.
Leave me. Oh no, now you're stuck. Turn it on. Get him. Rip his
the closed captions for Jar Jar are ridiculous.
Yeah.
I wasn't
oh my,
it.
Annie, oh my, the wrench. No.
Gurgling.
And
he knows it's gonna run. Playing like it.
So the one other pop that I have signed by Anthony, I have the gold chrome 3PO, because to me that like If I was gonna get a
How
3PO
is
signed,
that?
it has to be the chrome one because it's the shiny one.
Well, so that's yeah. It's if you could have a golden one.
Yeah.
I
How,
just you
Just
just
throw it-
gave me the thought in the brain because I have been
Don't
struggling
hurt yourself.
on the perfect thing for Anthony Daniels to sign. What I would want Anthony Daniels to sign if I choose to go get one.
Yeah, it's
Gold
water.
Chrome
3PO.
C3PO figure case.
Oh, sick.
The big case, like the Vader
Yes.
head.
Old school action figure case.
Yes, the action figure
That
case.
is
Chrome,
actually
the
cool.
Yeah.
golden. That's pretty nice. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
That's a hell of a
They're on
display
eBay
piece
right now.
too.
He's going to
Yeah.
eBay right now.
Oh,
But
oh no. I have to
Andy's
work
actually coming
overtime.
back to Andy's actually coming to Boston as well. So I think I'm gonna get hit the episode 1 3PO pop, the naked version. So I'll have the chrome and I'll have that. I don't want to get the red arm done. No.
Well, we want to know that story. Actually, I think there's a comic with that story.
There's a comic book about it. He's another droid sacrificed himself for 3PO and he did a tribute. But I want to know why the hell he has a silver leg
Yeah, he's had a silver leg
since day one.
forever.
Well,
But,
since 77.
Right.
I think Rocket Raccoon had something to do with his arm.
Yeah.
He's gonna
That
come
guy's
with the
arm.
Winter Soldier's arm, man.
Oh, I'm gonna get that arm.
I love how Qui-Gon's talking into a lady's razor. He just shaved his legs and now he's
Gillette, the
Qui-Gon.
best of Jedi.
Well, I mean, they've been running
Kenobi.
around since 1977 with like the camera flash unit, so you know.
Well, we were talking with during the episodes of Book of Boba Fett about how they use the 70s LCD video game. What is it? A bowling video game
Yep.
Yeah.
for that like order unit, like point of sale thing, whatever.
It was what was it? Like just like a tablet or something like his.
Well, what's interesting is that he used it for the negotiation thing, but if you notice, Chris Bartlett's droid in the Sanctuary has it when he goes up to those
Yep.
shady bombardier dudes,
Hmm.
and like he's going to take an order or something with it. So it's like I would say it's probably similar to like an iPad,
There you
but way more
go.
clunky.
Data pad.
There you go. Tablet. It's interesting how much activity they added to the city in this compared to what you see, especially in the original versions of the original trilogy, and even in the special editions. There's way less activity than there is in these guys. I really want to see Pelly wander through the background though. So bad.
That's what
So
you do.
bad.
That's your special edition is integrating the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Is excuse me, Mr. Notman. I seem to believe that the data pads on in Star Wars are much later dated than the those in Star Trek. I believe they were inspired.
I was just gonna say some technology was very much sort of envisioned, as it were, in Star Trek, and then realized in real form many years later for the masses.
And then it works its way back down, even in retro tech form, to Star Wars in the Mandalorian now as they're reading their things.
But yeah, having a communicator,
Flip phone.
Yeah. Uh-oh, chance dice. Oh, big goofy grin. Oh, pissed off Toydarian.
Okay, Jar Jar smiling with teeth is like the scariest thing ever.
That's that, and the whole "squeeze me" line. Just, those kind of things really bugged me. Bugged me way more when this movie came out. But I still saw it 7 times in the theater in its first run, I should say. I don't know how many times after that once it was re-released, if it was re-released. Definitely missed the 3D version though that we were talking about earlier. That one I was like, I'll pass on that one for now. I might have saw part of the prequel trilogy in the theater, like Revenge of the Sith, but they didn't get that far again.
Yeah.
So what do we got? Cobb Vance's little motory sickle speeder thing in 2 pieces over here. Is that what we're seeing? 2 parts of it, double.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. As you
Was
got
that ever
the
confirmed
engine.
that those were truly, or his thing was truly one of Anakin's pod race engines?
No, but the thing is that was a complete nod to it. No
Well, yeah,
matter
it's
what.
definitely inspired, or it was definitely a pod race engine.
Right.
That droid is very intrusive. It should fly a little higher. Weird little.
Well, yeah. Well, I think that's part of the 3D that they wanted to do in theirs. Is it just like
right.
make sure it comes right into the foreground of the screen. Now, I tell you what is unique. We talk about. I mean, I talk about how I have come to appreciate the prequels more because of having younger people who appreciate them. Like my daughter is what has made me the Jar Jar fan that I am. At the time, I was where you are. It was a little bugged me. It was like, the thing. But I also have a little brother who is significantly younger than me. So he's in the Cub Scouts at this time, and we had to make Anakin's pod into a Pinewood Derby car.
Oh snap!
So we've got a
that pod is pretty cool.
Chunk of wood to make that pod racer and make it go down a track on wheels.
A lot of carving.
So Toddy says she loves Jar Jar as well.
Yeah, I mean it's grown on me a lot. Is when
anybody
we did the cosplays for the Force Awakens, is my daughter went as Jar Jar.
Nice. Anybody who loves Jar Jar, if you're ever in LA and go to Hollywood to the Scum and Villainy Cantina and happen to encounter the owner, JC, there, talk to him about Jar Jar. He's a huge Jar Jar freak. He's very, very much pro Jar Jar. And he has got a really cool bar in the middle of Hollywood on the Walk of Fame.
But I tell you, it's you can see in making the pod and creating the pod, you don't. I don't know that I thought about it beforehand, but what I ended up making it out of, look at that kind of like shiny aluminum body, and it tells you that it's George Lucas because
big time.
I ended up using fender flares from a model kit for a Shelby Cobra.
Yep. I was just thinking when you're talking about how you're going to have to, carve it out or whatever. It's like that's just a, 60s, 50s, 60s muscle car type, hot rod vehicle.
Yep. You take the plastic models and you cut out a good chunk of the hood. You mush the fender flares together. Cut out the rear end and kind of the wheel wells for the rear end and just kind of leave that lip of the trunk lid.
There you go. Very nice. Are you ready to risk your life for I don't know what?
Like a transmission for a starship? It's like
I want to see I'm not sure who does the second voice, but the announcer is Greg Proops, who used to be on Whose Line Is It Anyway, along with
who was
else.
at Celebration Chicago.
Oh, he was, huh?
That's what Notman's mentioning in the chat. That would be one of the guests that Mark arranged.
Yep.
Well, that was a very cool choice. I went to a taping of Whose Line Is It Anyway in the hopes that he would be on it to get that figure autographed. I had it with me, and he wasn't on the episode.
April is putting us on mute and turning our volume down because she's like, oh no, I gotta hear the racing sounds. It's another George Lucas thing. They're obviously using like muscle car noises on these things.
It's all like standard race car, like almost like I'm sure it's a big mix, but a lot of it sounds like Formula One or IndyCar type cars. When this movie came out, this scene reminded me a lot of what I hear if I decide to go to the Long Beach Grand Prix in Long Beach here in the LA area. As you're walking up to the area where the race is, where you get the echoey car sounds as they go by. It's just this weird kind of surreal combination of things that makes the sound so powerful. It was very reminiscent of that. Lick Bald, Kitster.
Is Lamonte is like talking about it's sad to see how much Annie really needed Qui-Gon.
It's Lamont, no Lamonte.
Excuse me, Lamonte.
No, he doesn't like the Tay part. It's Lamont.
Lamont, excuse me.
But
so he's talking about it coincidentally, you can see an episode of the Unifying Force where we talk about what if Qui-Gon had lived and how different Anakin's life and what path might have gone down there.
Oh yeah, we would have been totally different, I would imagine, because of just a lot of factors. But you got a really good shot of that whole car style thing you were talking about when they did that overhead of his pod.
Oh yeah. You just completely see that.
Yeah, and you kind of see it there, but it's a tiny little iPad view. I loved how the Mando went on his ride in the new Naboo starfighter that he got.
Wizard.
Came back with that as his reaction through the Boonta Eve Classic.
Woo! Right there. And they just wrecked a, old style like 30s microphone.
There goes Ara.
Well, wait till you get to Beggar's Canyon and you see less condos in the rocks, but you see more condos there during Mandalorian.
No, there's still a lot there. What's funny is you see that ramp, that emergency ramp or whatever, still has like a broken gate in the Mandalorian or in Book of Boba Fett.
That was awesome.
Mandalorian season 3 episode 1. I'm sorry, I have to call it that.
That's pretty much what you got.
They shorted us episode and a half at least on Book of Boba Fett. It's only 4.5 episodes. Sorry.
Yep. Tuscan noises intensify.
Yeah. It was great seeing them doing their thing, and the Jawas. I really like the Jawas when even though they just are barely there when they go by and they do their tagline. I think I made an animated GIF of that shot with the Jawas in the foreground almost immediately when I was able to, like probably out of the trailer or something. 23 years ago. Back when animated GIFs were cool.
Oh, no, what? Animated GIFs aren't still cool?
I think they're cool in different ways now. But I was back when it was the young thing, the new thing.
So Josh is asking, do we expect Ewan to use a plexiglass? I think from what we've heard, it's going to be a minute-to-minute call. He can make it. He could change throughout the con. He could do it for one and not the other. He could do it one day. He could do it not the other. We're not going to know.
You don't know his motivation.
Yeah.
In terms of what
as the past several years have proven, goodness knows what can change in a month.
Yep.
Yeah. Now some of this was like the CG, and then the practical in the cockpit is like really George.
Yeah, I mean it worked 23 years ago.
It did, but you're watching it now and you're going
now, like you were just literally as you started to say that, I was looking at the scene prior to when you started talking, and it was like, oh, that looks video gamey, which is actually a compliment at this point. But here's your shot with is at the end of it with less.
There was
stuff.
The ramp there.
But yeah, it's at the time some of this stuff was truly amazing. And overall, I mean, it's seeing it on the big screen, you get different feel. Although I kind of like seeing it on a smaller screen at this point because it does kind of hide some of the flaws.
Faster,
But
more
Faster,
intense.
more intense.
Spinning, that's a good trick.
Yeah, always.
Not when you do it on accident. But this is pretty slick right here, what he does coming up. He busts out that. Why doesn't anybody else have that tool, whatever the hell that thing is?
Watchy.
Selfie stick that he grabs.
He just grabs a selfie stick and pulls it out. There you
Mwah.
go.
It's like, screw it. Put the pedal to the metal, son.
F it, we'll do it live.
Son of a gun.
This is one of the best parts of Star Tours, though. I have to say, if you get lucky enough to get dropped in this part of the or into the pod race, it's a very fun.
The pod race, and also I like Crate.
Crate is cool
There's-
too. It's a little
what is it?
different. It's got a weird vibe. Because Ryan Johnson was there. No, there's a whole thing with the salt or the red or whatever that stuff is getting
Yeah.
covering the window, and it's got a different kind of feel. And those knuckle dragging AT-ATs are just weird.
The gorilla walkers.
Yeah, whatever they're called. They're so big too. They're just like massive. Boink boink. Uh-oh.
No,
What's
no,
going on?
Right, no,
Getting
going through the
forced onto
flags.
Forced onto the emergency ramp.
Here
Boink.
we go.
So that ramp has
Boom.
not been fixed in how many years? This is 20 before. No. Yeah. 20. No, this is more than 20, right? This is
So
30
40,
before the
yeah.
Battle of Yavin. And then at least
10
30.
after that?
And then
10?
10 more approximately. Yeah, so like 40 years they have, at least 40 years they haven't done crap to that.
Well, it's
That
Tatooine.
ramp.
I mean,
There
we've
it is.
seen in Book of
Houdini.
Boba Fett and everything, nothing's changed.
It said Wahota.
Oop.
They didn't say Wahota, they said Utini. That's weird. It was W-A-H. No, W.
Yeah, Tota.
H-O-T.
I didn't see that.
It was weird. Doink. Oh no. Like, yeah, I can make do without that piece of my freaking crazy vehicle.
Yeah, extra pieces.
Yeah. And then a lot of smoke has started, but does he anyways. So Bubba takes the lead.
Sitting there watching on their iPad.
He was so ahead of his time.
Doink, doink, doink.
Oh,
He looks like he got that old timey operator switchboard thing going. He's like, oh, Mabel, I'll transfer your call.
There you go. For all the people who have never seen Andy Griffith in the chat, what Jeff just said is we're all old because we got that.
And if you laughed, you are too.
That is correct. That was an age test. Andy,
Also-
Opie, we're going to Mount Pilot.
It's like me calling it an AT-AT. That's an H test too. All right, we're in the frame.
know.
Yeah, you don't whistle so good.
I know.
It's so crazy how much bigger Sebulba's pod engines are compared to Anakin. Like, there's funny. So the other thing is, people were talking about like a true, like, I don't know who's going to be the main host for Celebration. Hasn't been announced. Maybe.
Yep.
So like we're thinking.
Here's the thing is, I don't know if it's gonna work, but what if they decide to go old school and bring in James Earl Taylor? Have another Obi-Wan there.
You want to go really old school? Double duty for Anthony.
Yeah.
Let him do it.
Yeah, that
He
would
was
be.
at Celebration 1. He was Mr. Gold Blazer on stage, being the host. It was interesting sight to see. I know he donned the golden blazer previous times or times since then. I mean, but it was a different kind of vibe.
Mhm.
Anyways, that guy with two heads dance is good.
He's doing my jungle love. Oh, we, oh, we, oh.
That's how we should cut that in. There,
Dave,
Scooby.
there you go.
Scooby,
Scooby, there you go.
right there. There's your next. There's
Scooby
your
needs to
next.
make a reel.
Reel.
Between Jay and Silent Bob
You can
and
totally
the
tell that's
two-headed.
Matthew Wood right there.
Yep. And
In
look at
the
Warwick.
Book of Boba Fett, it's not easy to say that is Matthew Wood, but that version of Bib Fortuna is definitely Matthew Wood.
Mhm.
Well, Notman thinks that it will not be Warwick that he's filming overseas.
Yeah, because
Chapter all
they,
about.
because him and the kids are just cats off a con.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you had Jet, why the hell not? You've already booked.
He's a great.
Because they've already booked Ashley and Matt, so he could definitely do some stuff. Because Warwick pulled double duty in Chicago.
Yeah. And if they do anything, talking about the animated stuff, he could be part of that too.
Well, you have that. Bring in
Star Wars Celebration will be George Lucas.
Flat Spencer.
I'd pay
already a featured guest. Going to be at everything that happens in Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, and someone that asks, do you think there'll be a Flat Spencer at the family portrait? And Mark says, I think there's going to be multiple Flat Spencers at the family portrait. Yes, Dave, we see you're pulling the doll out. You actually bringing that to Anaheim with you?
Really?
Was already there.
Ask me a serious question.
Okay, well. Well, yeah, but he's also contract to a little show. Well, I mean, it's a little about a Nagini that's still the baby. His other Lucasfilm property.
Okay.
That's doing a TV
oh yeah,
show
he's got a TV show coming up. Yeah. Do we know how that is intended to be? Is it going to be a limited series or season 1 is what we're going to get first?
No one knows initially.
Hopefully it'll be season 2 and 3 and 27. How much can you do with Willow though? I don't know. But I've thought of that exact same thought with a lot of other properties that turned out to be very fruitful. So
right.
Don't rely on what I think.
Well, if we go back to the fact, like the Matrix, after their first movie, they didn't need to make any more after that because it ended on the perfect note, and then they had to do a rave orgy in the middle of a cave.
Yeah, but the Animatrix was the
Animatrix was awesome. Don't get me wrong about that, but the first movie could have ended with Neo flying into the air to Rage Against the Machine and call it a day.
Yeah, and you'd have been done. And then they made the travesty with Doogie Howser.
I didn't mind it.
Therapist, whatever. It was kind of hard to stay in the. Hey, there's Barney from without thinking. Hey, there's Barney from How I Met Your Mother, or Doogie Howser, or the Neil Patrick Harris from
Harold and Kumar.
Dr. Horrible.
Harold and Kumar, exactly.
Dr. Horrible.
Yeah, exactly. All of it. Lemony Snicket, but whatever. Is this when Shmi tells Anakin that she did the Jedi, but she can't go with them?
Yeah.
He's your new daddy now. And last night he was saying, who's your daddy? I want to move into one of these huts.
These are pretty fancy little things.
They have just the right amount of weird cave kind of look with the technological elements built in,
It's the Flintstones.
with less foot operated vehicles.
Yeah.
They had the puppet for this on display at Celebration 1, the C3PO puppet. I'm sorry. In like a cool display of other things from some of the other movies as well. Well, at that time, it was only 3 other movies. But seeing a life-size 3PO with green bars sticking out of his butt, that was kind of interesting.
There you go. Photo op with that.
With a green bar butt.
Yep.
I got pictures of it. I didn't take pictures with it. That was back before I was much of a selfie taker. And then I fell into peer pressure. Now I have a whole Instagram that's just selfies, which is really disturbing. But some of the pictures are interesting. Usually they're mostly pretty boring though. Anyways,
This is fun. Is you notice that some of the things when you're watching this, just to do because I've got the sound completely off and just on closed captions, is like the detailing on Anakin's shirt, like around the collar and stuff, is before most of the time I just okay, it's like a burlap sack with a V-neck, but no,
there's a lot more detail when you can look at it closer. This is probably, I don't know, have they remastered these at all or upscaled them or anything for Disney Plus from what they were originally? Because it may, or I don't know. Anyways, oh,
here we go.
They have a really cool keychain of that droid. I need to get that too. It's the worst speeder bike ever, I have to say. It's just too weird. And I have the action figure toy vehicle combo. Uh-oh. Drop. Stop, drop, and roll.
Stop.
Take off.
Drop.
To the great white. Yep.
Where you going? Dude, run up the ramp.
You know, this is a pretty cool lightsaber fight. The fake sand in there is a little weird, but like in the air, as it were.
Yeah.
Both versions of it. But I've always had a problem with the ending of this scene.
It's just the random running away.
No, this part right here. And that right there. When you see Qui-Gon hit the ramp and land, and then it cuts to Maul, and he looks like he's landing.
Oh yeah, like he jumped up or tried to follow.
As far as I know, I'm not positive. There was a scene where he followed him up onto the ramp, and there was a little bit of a fight up there, and then he gets like dejected or whatever, and falls or something. But that's the way it always seemed to me, at least. I don't know if that's just something in my head. But with the way they cut that, I hate that introduction of Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Hey, how's it going?
Again, we found Obi-Wan for sure at this point, if we hadn't already. But Ashley was definitely the first one to find.
I want to give a quick shout out. I just jumped on the YouTube. That's a VCN. We do have a couple of people watching over there, but thank you very much to the 2 people who are watching on the VCN. Who are chatting.
Nice. Got the different sites represented.
That's right. I mean, the stream on the VCN is
so she's back to the same outfit. Does that count?
I think that's still another change. I don't know. It's a change. It's the same outfit. I don't know.
But yeah, she had to. Anyways, she had to go somewhere and put something else on.
You must contact me. You're tracking your cell phone. Stop. Take the GPS
Do,
strip out.
do you want to do you want the tracking
Move
to
it
be
to park.
on?
That is it. Space is very cold. Jar Jar doesn't seem to mind.
And he's reptilian, basically. Although he does live underwater, which is kind of cold. You're a sexy mama.
Dave's daughter who destroyed the dryer. He's all screwed his hell out.
Oh yeah, you weren't here for that. That was the fun.
So they sell that necklace on Batu. If you are interested, you can buy
Yep,
a Japor's.
that was well, actually one of the first things I bought the first time I went to Batu was actually that necklace.
Hmm.
That was the
Sounds
impulse
like-
buy because I had
Yeah.
other things in mind, and I saw that I'm like, I'm getting that, and the toy stall actually had because when it first came out, the Sabak game was selling out like crazy
Right.
at right time, and was able to
Yeah, some of that stuff you gotta snatch it up while it's there. Other stuff will stay there forever, which is really weird. But there's some things that they will always have and never have not had, and then there's a handful of things that are just like you're lucky if you can be there when they have them.
There you go. Here's like to say nothing of the first completely CGI character. This is like the complete CGI everything.
World, yeah. And again, George seems to overly sort of not accentuate, but like feature that profile of Senator Palpatine over there.
He's just trying to beat you over the head with the obvious that's not obvious
It's
to
like-
anybody on the thing.
See, like even
No.
just like right there.
Not a spork, April. Actually, I've never seen. I don't think I've seen a spork in all the times I've been to Batu, and I've been to Batu at least half a dozen.
What?
They had them when we went, I think.
Yeah, but I didn't go into. I didn't. Oh no, I did eat one time there, but I didn't have a spork.
No, the only time you would have been able to eat with a spork there
Yeah.
is the first few months that that part of the park was open.
Yeah,
Then
Then
people
they-
ruined it for everyone.
Then they brought them back and started selling them, so you could buy them in like with a bag
right.
that said like, yeah, there it is. So I have a couple of those. Yep, very cool. According to Mike Delicard,
Side
They,
sport.
they had a variation of that didn't look exactly like that. That was the one that you got to use, but I can't confirm or deny that since I specifically didn't want to eat in the park the first time I went to Batu.
Mhm.
Back then, I had no desire to eat inside a Disney property. I was like, I'm all about Earl of Sandwich.
Right.
No, downtown Disney is close to it in a Disney property, but it's a little bit different. Spork it. So we didn't go to Docking Bay to eat, and I kicked myself ever since then because it was like I went the fourth day that the park was open,
Mhm.
like the Wednesday after Tuesday after it opened on a Friday.
Right.
So out there in that, and I didn't know about black kyber crystals at the time. So when I built
yeah.
Stavi's saber, I grabbed myself a nice red kyber crystal instead of realizing that I should go into docks afterwards and buy myself. Oh, here's another costume change.
Whoop,
Yeah,
there we
I
are.
learned
So,
my lesson later.
Right.
I love how you can see how much those stupid headpieces are a pain in the ass to wear based on how little movement she has of her head.
oh yeah, no,
And she's sort of like leaning forward.
oh, it could be like the old timey like daguerreotype portraits where they've got like a stick that she's like taped to that's holding the thing there.
Right.
But
Yeah.
No,
So
I was there when Batu opened too, like a couple of days, I think, after you the first time. And I don't remember eating there at all either. I don't think I was. I don't know.
I don't even think, did we even get Ronto wraps? I don't even think we got Ronto wraps the
I
first
did the
day.
first time. First time I went there, I went directly and had Ronto wrap.
Well, how close to the inception of the land did you get
I would
inside?
probably say within the first 6 months because I was there for
Yeah.
work.
Well, this was the first
and,
few days, so it was a little
Yeah,
different.
no.
Uh, yeah, so at that point, and probably were you there with people that had been there already?
Yeah, so I was actually with so there's a luminary who's not going to be there this time, but there's the Wookiee monsters. So if you're gone to Celebration before, you know who the Wookiee
Yeah.
monster is, Rob. He's also
Those
sang
Muppet
at
Troopers are
at,
amazing.
at our event. Anyway, Rob has a house down there, and first time I went, he met me there. So I walked around with him.
Nice. It always bugged me that the guy with the long neck looked like his head was caught in a draft.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Look at that. He's like
But Will Russ, who
dude.
is his partner in crime, who is Grover Solo or
Darth Grove.
Count Calrissian.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
He's going to be at our events too.
Nice.
He's a big swag guy as well.
Sweet. Yeah,
One
we
thing-
had no idea what we were doing, just walking around the first time, and it was our first time at Disneyland in
As
general
well.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. I was very familiar with Disneyland at that point, but I hadn't been in a while. Maybe a year, a couple of years. But once I went into Batu, I was like, "This is pretty cool." But then when I came back,
I can go the whole day.
once they opened Rise of the Resistance, it totally changed my mindset on Disney parks. Well, that park specifically. And I've been there quite a few times since then.
Another costume change. Another costume.
Oh yeah, she's up to 37
In
all
a row?
In a row.
In a row. Yeah. No, I think the first place, the places that we ate there, we were more concentrating on the Disneyland thing. I think we ate, what is it, the Bayou, whatever,
Blue Bayou.
inside of Pirates.
Blue Bayou, yeah, that's the one inside Pirates. That's also closing for yeah.
They're doing that at the same time they're doing the ride.
The ride is down right now, and you could go into Blue Bayou recently. I think maybe it's still open or staying open, but you didn't get the same ambience because you can't see where the ride itself is because they have.
So what what renovations? They're taking Sparrow out, or are they just doing some upgrades?
Are they doing what or some upgrades?
Taking Sparrow out.
Yeah, I don't know. I doubt that's going to happen, considering how much nonsense went into putting them in.
Yeah.
It's probably just like scheduled maintenance or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, periodically rides like that, I think they have to just completely drain and mess with the track mechanisms and stuff underwater.
It's submerged all the time. Yeah. Then lately they've been running it weird. Like when they reopened, they were running it weird where they would like. Did we go on it?
Yeah, we absolutely went on it with my brother because you saw who's the guy that gives like all the bad dad jokes
Chris Provost from
he was outside when we were leaving, I think.
We were going back around towards Batu, I think, but
or a jungle cruise, or head to a jungle cruise, and we ran into him.
Big Thunder, maybe. Anyways, so one thing that I noticed, like when we went, was that they were letting, or somebody wasn't doing what they're supposed to do, but the boats were hitting each other a lot more than I remember, and violently in some cases it seemed. So that may be something that like maybe they weren't controlling it properly based on having just reopened and not maybe having the same crew in terms of cast members working that ride. She looks very sad here. Oh, where's ET? Oh, there's Chewie. Oh, that's not Chewie. That's his cousin.
Yeah. I was
Hey,
like,
it's Padme.
oh, and he
Oh,
The
just
first
sits
version is
and there's
down.
ET
Sadme.
down there. Just so yeah, it's sad me.
Hey, sit down, Zod.
And yeah,
Heal
I
me,
mean,
poor Zod.
it's like Padme caused the whole thing. It's Padme's fault.
It was Padme all along.
Absolutely. But yeah,
Oh,
when we went, Jeff, when we
Stupid
went in
like that.
December, I've gone on obviously the Florida version of Pirates, a number of times, and I had not been on the
Yeah, I've never been on that one. I've never been in the Magic Kingdom.
well, I had not done the California one since I was a child. So I do remember like the first time I went as an adult on Pirates, in Walt Disney World, and I kept on thinking, I guess they redid it because it's a lot shorter than it was before. Because I remember where the waterfall was on the original one. So I was like, oh,
Right,
I
how
guess
it
they
starts and
edited
everything.
it. And then
Yeah.
when we went on, I'm like, okay, this is exactly what I remember. I was having visions of my childhood that I didn't even remember.
Deja vu. I want to make a iPad mini holder that looks like the one that Mace is holding right there. A weird paddle handle.
Does it say? Oh, his thoughts dwell on your mother too. Ah, this is
See,
paddle.
I'm
Say
telling
bad.
you, this movie is right up there for the meme-tastic quotable. It really is. There's so much more
Yeah, you're right.
that you
One thing I
remember.
really do like about this version, which is actually kind of almost a special version of this movie, is that they replaced the freaky deaky puppet version of Yoda with the CGI version that John Knoll had tested later on, I think.
Right. Does his paddle say bad mofo on it?
Thinking you some people gonna die? What's that?
Does his paddle say his iPad say
Costume
bad
change.
mofo on?
It should.
The Gungans get the pasted too. Anakin with cheese.
Anakin with cheese. Nice. And Padme with her phallic headdress.
That's why you not liking us, Your Highness.
She looks like a dickhead.
You're a racist, Your Highness.
A boom boom. Nothing like a little boom boom.
Mm-hmm.
Bombad boom boom. Boomba. Was another
Surprised by welcome. Yeah, he knew this was happening.
I want to see Emperor Palpatine wandering around with that hairdo and his hair and his hood down.
Well, what about that episode in Lothal when Ezra's at the temple? He sees the imagery of this Palpatine, and then when Ezra's destroying the temple, he kind of fades in between the two.
Oh.
Talking about Rebels.
Speaking of Rebels Revisited coming up next month. Well, not next month, the month after next.
After next.
Well, it's almost like a couple of days in a month.
Oh, and not to steal Mark's thunder. Mark, are you still there? But
he said he's going to be in and out.
The little Ruby's rollout today. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do the fanfare. But did we see that there's sale on helmets?
Yes, on May the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, coming up next week.
10% in free shipping, I think it is.
Yeah, be checking that out if you are interested in one of the Duonovo helmets, and there's some snazzy ones.
I love that Rise of Skywalker Kylo helmet. That's all colored up.
Yeah, the one that's like the Japanese gold.
The Japanese, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be cool to see somebody do a version of that with the gold instead of red. Maybe somebody will get one and mod it.
Well, there's the whole panel about the samurai Sith going on. Have we seen the announcement of that?
Yeah, I did. That
is cool. That those would be the people to do that, is make your traditional Japanese Kylo outfit.
Not that.
You mean not that Predator that we saw the other day?
Hey, couldn't have been worse.
One thing that also bugged me about this movie is the Padawan rat tail. That little tail thing has always just been weird to me. And then they sold it. That made it even weirder.
You get your own
Little
Padawan
clip-on tail. I'm sure I have one in the package still somewhere, just because it was some weird piece of merch that was available when I was scrounging for not a Jar Jar.
Do you see the Star Tours panel, Jeff? There's a Star Tours panel.
I skimmed through the panel list looking for, I don't even know what I was looking for, but I didn't really go too in depth. I got to look back on it. But
yeah, but you probably end up going, and April's not going to show. So I don't know what she's talking about right now.
Depends on when it is. If it's, I have one big half a day where I'm got something else going on that I have to do besides all the other little things every other day. But yeah, I'll be volunteering in the Rancho Obi-Wan booth for the latter half of Thursday. So if you come by there, most likely see me working the line.
I want to see like a big panel list. It's like laid out days, calendars, times, line up, kind of like
I would imagine they're going to come with that eventually.
And
well, there's some people who have
just a regular list doesn't really give you a lot. I know a lot of people were talking about making their own spreadsheets and doing things like that.
Some people are already doing that, and I think that what I'm going to do is that once we start getting the announcements of the times for the photo ops and all that, and the and the autographs, that I'm going to go back on and start saying, okay, now you can really start putting together your schedule.
Yeah.
What the three things, the rule of three of figuring out what you want to do, what you can do, what you're absolutely doing. So
yeah, right. And there'll be many updates to how they deliver that stuff. So they'll most likely create some sort of grid that shows the dates and times, and also individual days and times for everything.
And then watch out in the next couple of weeks as well for a very exclusive virtual digital version of the Hidden Gems that we're making for you guys. So if you're looking for things that you might not necessarily look at in the at face value, but we know that's gonna be absolutely fantastic. You should check it out. We're gonna give you some tips.
Hidden Gems of Star Wars Celebration.
And April, I expect you to hit share when you have that spreadsheet. The email address. Just
yeah, let her do the work.
She knows where you work.
Reap the benefit.
That's right.
That too.
There are two of them.
Shiny in the dark.
Always two there are. Oh, costume change.
Yeah, that's crazy costume change. That's like the diva from
from Fifth Element.
Fifth Element.
Without the blue face. She got white face instead. She does all these costumes. She does like no head movement. She probably had a sore neck when she was done shooting because she couldn't move her head at all. Like, oh, crazy.
Well, sort of like what Kilmer was talking about watching the movie Val. Is that the reason why he didn't come on for Batman and Robin is because he was just so uncomfortable in the cowl.
Right. But here's another one of those prime spots to land a ship somehow.
Yeah, just like zip it right in the trees right there, rotate around. Yeah.
Barely hit a branch, but it didn't look like a big clearing.
David O'Neill's email there, Notman. You can just go when you need to send anything because you need to send me some bumpers. You need to send me some cool stuff. Remember, it's Virtual Cantina Network at gmail.com.
When are we getting a Bodhi bumper? We definitely need a Bodhi bumper.
Yes. Bodhi Grogu bumpers. Yes.
or Ewok or whatever.
Or no, I want to see Bodhi as Bodhi.
Yes.
Bodhi is Bodhi.
Well, I was saying that
He's the pilot. He's
and-
Bodhi. He's
and-
the pilot.
and then Naman should be
Gullet.
Gullet.
There you go.
But isn't he already? Isn't that kind of what he does?
He's Ball Gullet.
He sucks the life out of you. No, just kidding. He does that with eclairs.
Baguettes.
Yeah, he sucks the. See, the thing is that's so wrong, especially if you've seen the movie Van Wilder and what they did with the eclairs in Van Wilder.
Oh God.
Now you got the imagery right now.
Back when I barely knew who Ryan Reynolds was, but yeah.
Right.
Oh, see, Ashley's saying Bodhi is her niece's name, so Bodhi needs to meet Bodhi.
Oh yeah.
Need to make that happen.
There can only be one.
But two there are.
Oh, two of them.
Now this looks crazy. Now is like you look at the decoy and the facial structure in there.
Yeah,
Are they trying to exaggerate how
like
much it doesn't look like Natalie at this point?
Like a giant forehead.
Yes.
Although they do have a kind of similar look without.
But he's gonna be dressed like Hutch from Fanboys.
Or with regular makeup.
The Hutch touch.
Oh.
Got the big mane of hair and the Han Solo outfit.
And right there in the back, Anakin's going like, "What?"
I would never have known.
And Qui-Gon just looks over at him and he just looks right back. It's like, you lose.
Really?
I knew. I was in on it.
And Anakin's like, what?
Are you an angel? Oh, wait. Was that you I was talking to? Wait, no.
Oh, is that you over there?
Are you both angels?
Like, Anakin's not.
How many of you did I hit on inadvertently? At 9 years old.
Sherry says we're at a count of 10 right now, custom-wise.
Yeah.
Let's get some more slobber.
Hmm.
Where's the slobber? We being friends. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh.
Yeah, why didn't the guys oh wait, I guess that was the other side that was kneeling. Except for Jaw.
Well, yes, you've located their starship in the swamp. It's a big, bright, shiny, reflective. Like it
not hard.
I didn't see it.
It's hard not to miss. So yes, my master. You should have said Finding Kenobi right there. I need to go Finding Kenobi. And then Palpatine would have been like, "Yep,
Go ahead."
hey, look, this is where you got your screensaver from Windows 98 or desktop, I should say."
Yep, I got that. And then actually my screensaver, I did download the crawl. That program you could do for the crawl. So I had, I'd write my own thing.
Right.
Like Spencer's computer, don't touch it, like because it was college.
It was a time of turmoil if you touched the computer.
I think I was rocking a Mac at that point. I had flying toasters still.
I always hated that screensaver for some reason.
And then I was playing.
I also hated screensavers like you were talking about earlier, mainly because if I was ever trying to do anything on it and the screensaver kicked in, it would screw up like processing or saving. Because back in the day, when you hit save, it didn't necessarily take that quick to save it. It could take minutes, if not many, many, many minutes.
Yes. Well, especially the stuff I was doing like animation and graphic stuff at that point. But the screensavers took so much actual memory.
Yeah, they would suck up you'd go and like look at the task manager type thing that you had or whatever, and be like, that's too much of my
Well,
resource.
between that and like the first time was with that, and trying to run AOL, because that was at the time, and then on top of that as well, because I was also playing the different versions of Leisure Suit Larry, and that
Oh
would
yeah, I just got some for Steam. I got like a whole little packet of Leisure Suit Larry games.
I love that game. That was
I used to.
that was
It takes
so much
so
fun.
long to play those games. It's just so slow. But yeah, they're fun. They're just so kooky, and it was like the kind of risque thing,
Yeah,
But
so raunchy.
I think I was playing at the time Quake.
Quake. Yeah, I never got deep into those first-person shooters, and that was like the second first-person shooter after Doom.
Yeah.
Did Qui-Gon ever
Doom
force
and
ghost
Wolfenstein
Anakin?
before that.
What was that?
Pierce is wondering if Qui-Gon ever forced ghost Anakin in any expanded novelizations.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Remember how cool that them emerging from the fog scene looked in the trailer? And then
Yeah.
it was like,
This was looking very.
They
what was the
made
game?
this stuff look so good in the trailers. It just looked amazing. I mean, in terms of like, you only got just enough of a glimpse to be like, oh my god, what?
Yeah, but Pierce, that's a very interesting question. I don't know of any of the
Yeah, we need the
expanded stuff
expanded
where.
universe experts here. Where's Mike? Mike would know.
Yeah, or Catherine.
Yeah, Catherine might know too.
Lila rewound us live and was like back on the VHS conversation. It's like, yes, we are the world between worlds. We are here. We are there. We are.
It's awesome.
Boom,
It all comes full circle.
Now, this something that's really cool about this is like how accurate and how these tanks are, and the droids really from the Clone Wars series, the animated series to this is it's like that's like, oh, you look, oh, it's animated, oh, it's the same.
You just need to stylize the 3D model to make it look animated. I wonder how much of that stuff they reuse and then just like, rework slightly.
Don't know. Oh,
They're watching on their Facebook portal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, which one of these Naboo starfighters becomes Mondos? There's so many to choose from.
oh, it's gotta be Anakin's. That's how it found its way to Tatooine.
Yeah, I guess that's possible. It's not really Anakin's.
Well, the one he stole.
This kid jacked this car, and yeah,
and then
could you imagine?
dumped it for parts on Tatooine at like this junkyard run by a toy
Get a ride home. Don't take them out right away. Off into the desktop. Look, there's Grogu. So weird about if you've ever seen the Incredible Cross-Section books, if you see how the astromechs fit inside these stupid starfighters, because they get sucked up from the bottom, like you could see R2 get pulled up,
right,
and his head pop up. But if you look, like the way that that hole is just big enough for his dome to fit out of, like the body of the astromech is down at the like lower portion, and then the head like extends up somehow. So he's got like a telescoping thing inside that pushes his head up. It's really weird.
Huh. And you would assume that like all the little gizmos and dooflotchies and data ports like extend out and connect into the.
Yeah, it would be sort of like what what was BB-8 doing or whatever.
Yeah.
Some of this weaponry is just so weird.
What? You don't think like big digital slingshots are like
Dummies.
effective weaponry?
Oh, look at those shields. Like you had
Wow. Big bad bomba. You are.
so the Gungans had these big ass shields that are generated, but you saw Paz Vizsla in Book of Boba Fett with like the Ruby's version of the Captain America shield. Like
I love how the droids figure out. Yeah, exactly. I love how the droids figure out immediately they can walk right through it.
Yep.
Like, don't even try to like just shoot it. They just walk right through it. They don't even like question.
And in the Book of Boba Fett, they spend an entire episode just trying to shoot it.
Just wailing on it with all their weapons. Yeah, in the worst way.
yeah, but what did the children of Thanos do when they were trying to get through the force field in Wakanda?
Well,
Those dogs that were like destroying themselves trying to get through. Yeah.
Well, they're dumb. Stay there, Anakin. Don't ever leave the cockpit.
Stay in that cockpit as opposed to like getting down and hiding behind like those boxes.
Stay in that
room.
Cockpit, and I'm gonna go and write. Okay, here comes the badass that we saw in the trailer. That when we first saw, we're like the double-sided lightsaber.
Yes.
We're like, and we're there.
They're all dropping their cloaks. Oh, droidicas!
No.
Wow. Padme's gun is so weird looking, and it's like it's got a straw in the end. Oh no, double-bladed lightsaber. See, Qui-Gon is quite concerned when he reveals that. Look at that. Ooh, think, don't think. This part of the battle is not quite as good as the later part.
I think it's just amazing and impressive. Like the Jedi haven't seen a Sith for 1,000 years, yet we've trained daily to lightsaber fight.
Yeah, it's like we need to have this skill
because they're keepers of the peace, not warriors.
Yes, if you want to check out previous
from a certain point in
my Force. Well, I just thought that Padme's, weirdo long silencery gun is a throwback to Leia's long silencer.
Her pew pew.
Her pew pew. Although she busts out with that big blaster, what's it called? The Stormtrooper one.
Oh yeah.
Her thing. I love the pointless flips. It's so cool. And always use the Force to open doors from a distance with random objects. Because they need to do a lot more of that they don't do like later on in this stupid series.
Right.
Saga. Well, mainly in this trilogy, but also a lot in the last trilogy that was produced. Maul needs to brush his teeth. Wow, boink. Yeah, this is so CGI. Those backgrounds are just like, eh. They learned a lot going through this movie and the next one. By the time they got to that saber fight at the end of Revenge of the Sith, they had the positioning and everything down with those green screen sets.
Mm-hmm.
They still haven't used to build big open power converter places with handrails.
There's no such thing as handrails. They're just gonna get cut by lightsabers anyway.
Well, there are handrails at one point because when Luke and Vader are battling, he hits the handrail. There's like that one in all
around that little thing that jets out in that shaft in Bespin. Yeah, I love how clumsy Jar Jar is here. Doink, doink, doink. He maimed that battle droid, but instead of still firing, it just sort of squirms around on the ground. All he did was hit it in the leg. I think it'd still be blasting. Try spinning. That's a good trick. Oh wait, it's not time.
Woo! This is tense. Yeah.
Get us off of autopilot. You know how to fly it.
Oh, there it is. Now I got the controls. Oh. Wizard.
He's like so far away from where Qui-Gon told him to stay. He's like, Qui-Gon told me to stay in this cockpit.
I'm still in this cockpit, just a little. Yeah.
And spinning's a good trick.
Woo!
It's like, why did he even put that helmet and goggles on? Is he communicating with some sort of tower? Some sort of main control somewhere?
Time to buzz the tower.
Yeah.
Negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full. Yeah, that's not CGI right there.
I love the backwards shot.
And we just randomly all carry grappling hooks.
Yeah. All of our guns are equipped with grappling hook attachments, so we can.
To quote Jay in Mallrats, where did he get these wonderful toys?
Yeah, because that's quoting Jay.
I know.
Excuse me, Jack Nicholson.
Right. Ooh, flat.
Oh, kick in the face. Oh, thump.
Why? What if his saber fell off right there? What would have happened? And why doesn't everybody else's saber turn off as they fall? I guess when it fell out of his hand is when it turned off.
Yeah, I don't know. The Sith have their safeties disabled. I don't know.
Did you see how many panels that Filoni's doing? He's doing like 5 or 6 panels at Celebration.
I have seen that, yes.
He's the keeper of the Star Wars.
Yep. Hey, Hunter, how are you?
Oh, no, my freaking phone.
Oh, there, boom, boom.
And we at least know that Favreau is going to be there on Saturday, so.
Oh. Panel.
And like, what are these things? What is this? What is the point in these forces?
What are they protecting what from?
It reminds me that scene in Galaxy Quest when they're trying to get to the Mashers.
Oh yeah, it's what does this do?
Like, what's the point of this one? Whoever wrote this episode needs to die. That movie is so underrated.
Yes. Oh, the Hotfoots. Oh no. Me.
See ya.
Yeah.
It's a weird way to store those things. You think kind of banging against each other in that bin would cause them to fracture. Yeah.
Do you think that those are the galaxies, like in Men in Black?
Yeah.
The galaxy on Orion's belt.
Mm-hmm.
No, Notman's going to have yet another Star Wars celebrity who wants to kill him. He wants to take his Obi-Wan saber to the Hayden photo.
I don't know if he'd want to kill him.
Well, he would hate you. I hate you.
If he didn't hate Spencer for bringing him a jar of sand, I don't think he would hate somebody for bringing him Obi-Wan saber.
Well, so there's a picture. If you go and look at my entire album of Celebration 2019, as I'm waiting online with John and Alan to go see Hayden and I'm wearing my Sandy Bro t-shirt, someone dressed as a bag of sand. Someone cosplayed as a bag of sand. And they actually got a photo op with Hayden.
Wow. That's weird. Why is it gotta be a bag of sand? That's horrible. Yeah, that's a weird joke.
Oh. So why is he all of a sudden like skidding out on the doof? Oh, the engine totally died and it
Yeah,
doesn't.
Yeah,
I always find that interesting that somehow these vehicles that take off and land vertically for the most part all of a sudden like skid into place.
Well,
Here
and
in the next
because
movie,
even in Mando, when this thing was broken, it was floating.
right.
You know.
There's a scene where it was in Force Awakens where they land the Falcon in that kind of fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So every once in a while, there's some sort of issue that causes it to need to come into a screeching landing. Doink! Oh, skewer!
Oh, you're done.
you know
Ray
you're
Park
dead.
is such a badass in this. His body language in this scene is amazing.
And I still love the fact that after this movie, you don't see him for a while, the actor Ray Park, until
Right.
X-Men was Toad, and you see him when he
Mm.
has the staff on Liberty Island. He does the mall pose and smiles at the camera like we're
Right.
not going to know that he's
Like,
totally malling
look
out.
at me.
I
Yep.
see what you did there, Mr. Park.
Yeah, my give up.
Yeah.
I always thought this was interesting how they started to introduce the markings, in this case on the droids, to differentiate rank and stuff. And that was really something that needed to be done with the Stormtroopers back in the day, but then
Oh yeah.
sort of seems to have been erased in terms of the chronological time frame, and all of a sudden you
from
got
existence.
just white troopers everywhere when they used to be all semi-colorful. Anyways.
Oh, shoot him.
Blurp. Damn, that door would hurt if it closed on you. Look at poor young Ewan. Damn, he is so young there. And he wasn't even that young.
For
Boom, 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 boom. This is a pretty intense fight right here.
Yeah, they're boom, boom.
Well, in this one,
half,
he's allowing his aggression and his hate to get
Yeah,
the best of
exactly.
him.
Ooh, snap. Doink. Flip.
Boom.
Scamper. Ooh, kick to the face. Boop to the head.
The thing about this is that I think out of all the lightsaber battles that we've had, this is probably my second favorite because I still love the Battle of Mustafar. I think that's the best lightsaber battle in the whole saga, but this is a close second.
See, right here, he should have let go of one hand, caught the saber with the force, and chucked it back. It turned it on and chucked it back at Maul and killed him right there. That's what he should have done. Then jumped up.
April
he kills him later.
April is hoping for a Ray Park and Ewan photo.
Don't be surprised if Ray Park is not invited.
But don't be surprised if Ray Park is there.
Hey, you would not surprise if he was there, but don't be surprised if he's not
we're not going to be
invited
in the
to
autograph hall.
I don't think he's going to be. I think revenge porn had a lot to do with the fact of he's not
They
going
got a bad taste in his mouth, so to speak. Disney.
Well, they didn't get bad. Never mind. I'm not even going to go there.
Yep. Nope.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of, like, if you say that he's not going to be there, and he ends up not actually being at the con or a con adjacent at all, that he's maybe at something else sort of semi-adjacent, like a comic shop or something.
He's doing a lot of comic shops in Texas and in California. We've been trying for a long time to get him to come to Massachusetts, but
Right.
he's doing the Dom thing right now.
Right. Well, that's last time when me and Mike saw him. That was kind of basically what he is. doing a very similar kind of tour to what
Yeah.
Dom had done. Feel the force of his saber.
Oh,
Saber.
he's just looking at him like, what?
What are you doing, dude? Don't do that. Oh, no, don't do that.
Boom. Bye.
Okay, bye. Flirp. So if you noticed when he did the swing and you're looking at Maul, in this version, there was this light kind of, it wasn't a spray, but it was like
Well, it was
a
the
burst,
spray. It was a little
burst of light,
miss.
red light from the bottom of the frame that was not in all the original cuts. There was multiple versions in theater that you could go and see one without that little light of red coming up from the bottom of frame.
Maul instantly turns into spam, and I don't like spam.
Well, yeah, and after that level of that injury that Maul gets, and the fact that Qui-Gon dies here, it's like, why don't y'all carry him back to spray? Come on, because like he like put a hole through your gut.
Right. He didn't.
That instantly cauterizes.
He didn't sever your spine.
Yeah.
And lose your lower extremities. But whatever. You'd think, yeah. I mean, it's a poke versus a slice.
One would have thought that would be somewhat survivable, but no. Maybe he was sad.
Oh yeah, he died of a broken heart. It got skewered a little low.
Ashley's like, use force healing. Oh wait, we're not doing that yet. Nope, never
I'll
trained
be watching you, young Skywalker. I am a creeper.
Should we bow? Yeah, we're he's the king. We don't do that here.
Yeah, and like the big weirdness of his outfits, like he looks like
and
like Henry VIII or some crap.
Yeah, they're very regal. I remember that this was originally shot with the puppet, and that they had like a big rectangle cut in the floor for him to act against the puppet, with Frank in the floor doing his puppeteering and voice work.
Mm-hmm.
Go find the hole in the floor, Spencer. That's what your job is.
There's photos of that somewhere. If not, maybe it's video, but it's probably on some kind of featurette for the first. It was on that VHS tape that I got in '99 off of Overstock.com.
Yeah. Kermit the Frog, just back and forth.
There you go.
Right there.
I thought it was Super Grover.
Hey, nice. Super Grover.
Henson, Master of Puppets.
Yep, I love
barbecue time. Oh no.
That'll be you one day. See, told you. So mean were they?
Yeah.
He leans over and look. It's freaky seeing him not burnt yet, but amongst all that flame. What will happen to me now? You're gonna die like him. Only worse. By me.
Yeah, what about like Boromir?
You would be a Jedi. Oh, nothing bad's gonna come out of that. Oh, wait.
I'm gonna train you whether you like it or not, son. Let's talk about the Sith while we're in the presence of one.
No,
I have no clue. There's always two, and I'm pretty sure the other one's around here somewhere.
Maybe if I don't know, felt through the Force, I could find. Oh wait, no.
No, is Obi-Wan the Sith? I think he is. He's got a hood on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, it's time to party. Never mind. You burnt the Jedi. Now we going to party.
Let's spot Dan Mattson, the creator of Celebration.
Yep. Well, he was president of the fan club, and then the fan club put on Celebration 1, and then
And then
Lucasfilm said, we're taking this over and having Gen Con do it. And then somebody else, and then Repop, and then who knows who will be after.
And what are they holding? What is it Palpatine holding some big like ball of energy or something?
Do they have that
there's
weird
Dan.
ball
There's
thing?
Dan.
Yeah, he takes the Oompa Loompa away, or whatever those stupid creatures are
Yeah.
called.
No, it's not Palpatine. It's the
Co Bibble.
Oh yeah. Like,
Co Bibble. He's got the cool power ball. That's the Dragon Ball. So now Dragon Ball Z has been united. I don't know.
Oh no, Boss Nass is going Super Saiyan.
It's the pearl from the Crate Dragon, didn't you know?
Oh yeah,
there you
it's
go.
just been electrificated.
Mhm.
Oh, and there we go. Written by George Lucas. That was a swell movie.
Well, there we go. We just kicked off the storyline of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Lots of fun. You know, something. The more I watch this movie, this over time, you know, I enjoy it. I enjoy Star Wars, even if I don't like it. It's
Oh yeah,
Star
that's
Wars.
what I always say. I am a Star Wars fan first and foremost. Whether or not it's the best thing is debatable, but it's fun to watch, and a lot of stuff is amazing. And all of the movies and properties, there's elements that are just worth the watch. And you go through some stuff you don't like, and you see some truly amazing stuff.
Yeah, unlike you know the Clerks cartoon when they put George Lucas on the stand and asked for the $750 back from this movie.
I love that.
$750 when a movie was $750.
Yeah, right. Lots of fun. Very excited about where we're going. Hopefully Frank will be able to join us next week. I know he was working and he was running late with work.
Missing square up there. We need to have them all filled. Actually, there will be another missing next week. I won't be here. I'll be checking out Bill Burr at the Forum instead. So.
Yep. So we'll be watching episode 2. We're going to see Jesus Obi-Wan.
Jesus.
Which 2 is my favorite of the sequel trilogy. I mean the prequel trilogy. Right. Mostly because of Dexter's Diner. I love that. I love that scene. But I don't know, to close it out. Don't forget, you know, Bunta Eve Cantina coming up in 4 weeks. Same thing with the Not So Virtual Cantina. I hope you guys are going to join us all for that. This weekend is going to be a new episode of the Jedi Archives. And, you know, we're gearing up for celebration. You know, hopefully tomorrow we'll be coming back tomorrow with some more guests. Hopefully, you know, that'd be awesome. But Jeff, close out, anything?
I hope that we get more than just an individual tomorrow in terms of announcements, like you were mentioning.
Yes.
We need to have a good chunk of good guests getting into the next few weeks or week. And, you know, I'm going to be sad to miss episode 2, but I really enjoy Revenge of the Sith. So I'll be back for that one.
Yep. It's going to be all good. Dave.
2 pieces of homework. Thank you, the 8 of you that are still on and still listening to us. Homework for you. Yes, I know you're being rewarded with extra stuff. 1, send us some bumpers. Send us some stuff. Send us some things we can use for reels. Just get silly with it with the Star Wars. I mean, if you want to check out a lovely little reel, there might be one of, you know, the Flat Lord of the Sith over there on the Instagram that just took like 20 seconds to record. You know, give us something fun. And 2, you know how bad we are at the research and the stuff. This is the first we see of Kenobi. Who knows in the EU? Who knows who can tell us, who can come back with us next week and tell us what was Kenobi doing like before this? You know, what made him or what brought him down the path to be Qui-Gon's Padawan, you know? Because we know that all Padawans and masters kind of get chosen and worked out is why was Obi-Wan one to do. Oh, I love Star Wars origami there, John. I've got several books on that. But Yeah, why was it that what in Obi-Wan's personality, or what had he done, or what kind of trouble had he gotten in at the temple to where he got assigned to
Jedi.
the outsider, that semi-gray Jedi? That I don't know.
Yep. So yeah, so that's some homework for you for next week. So we'll be back on tomorrow at some time. Yeah, it's all good stuff. So from Dave, from Jeff, this is Spencer saying, may the force be with you.
Maybe.